moments that come to mind, but probably one of the most difficult times for me was the death of my grandmother. We were extremely close when I was a kid, and she passed when she was pretty young. She was only in her 60s, and she randomly just got lung cancer, never a smoker, nothing made sense. And I was about 19 or 20 when it happened, and it was just completely gut-wrenching for me. And it shook my faith quite a bit, because I just felt like, how could something so awful happen to someone so wonderful? And to be honest, it took me several years after that before I would even step foot in a church. I was angry. I was angry at my family. I was angry with God. And I miss her. I miss her every day. So, with every darkness, there's a path, right? There's a light, and it just took me a while to see it. And, I look back to some of the decisions I made during those times, and how I had just kind of fallen off, and I had ignored the signs that he was there for me. And if I really reflect on it, I was kind of doing the opposite of everything I should have been doing, right? And life was hard for me. It just seemed like everything was difficult. Everything was one bad decision after another, after a consequence. And one day I was really contemplating my life decisions, and I was in a pretty awful relationship. It was very emotionally abusive, and it was just awful. It wasn't healthy. But at the time, based on decisions I had made and everything, I felt like it was what I deserved. And I was in the garage of this house that we had lived in together, and this cardinal flew straight into me in the middle of the garage. And it just it literally hit me. And I just had this moment of awakening, honestly, because my grandmother had always said that cardinals are, your family members, your long past family members sending you a message. And I just felt like that was definitely her, and it was time to really reevaluate what I was doing. And so the next week I got out of that relationship. I moved out. I started off on my own again, and I was in this career that I loved, and I was building that. So I had that going for me, and I just really put my head down and started focusing on that. And then Corey and I kind of reconnected, and it was amazing to me once I started listening how things in my life fell together. It was like once I stopped ignoring those signs that he was there and he was pointing me in the right direction, everything fell into place. Corey and I had been friends since we were teenagers. When we got together, we knew immediately that was it. We got married, we had Ellie, we've bounced around, moves together, but at every turn, at every decision, we knew we were on the right path. Even coming here to North Carolina, it was COVID hit, and Corey was stuck in Trinidad for 8 weeks because he couldn't travel with COVID restrictions. I had 3 small children by myself, and I was on lockdown in New York on quarantine, losing my mind. Probably literally and figuratively losing my mind. And my mother-in-law called me one day just to check in on the babies and on me, and she could hear it in my voice that I was just distraught. I was exhausted. I wasn't enjoying my children. I was so worried that I was doing everything wrong for them, and I was trying to go back to work. Everything was stressful, right? And she's like, well, just come to North Carolina, ride out the pandemic. Just hang out. It's quiet out here. It's nice. You'll have my help. I'll even help you make the drive. I'll meet you halfway. All you have to do is drive 4 hours, and I will meet you halfway. So I said, that's it. And I just threw all of our stuff, whatever I could fit, in the back of the truck, loaded up all 3 kids, and I made the drive in the middle of the night. And it was the best decision we made as a family, because not even a few months later, my company approached me about a remote position. I took it and we moved. And now, we have this beautiful life here in Elkin, and we have our church family, we have our family nearby, we have friends. The environment that our children get to grow up in it's unlike anything else. It's a dream. And all because, we kind of started to tune back in, if that makes sense. So I really feel like those little moments are there when you're looking for them. I have so many moments to celebrate. I have, my beautiful family and my children are all healthy right now, and that's just, that right there is a huge thing to celebrate. They're thriving here in Elkin. We have our friends, our church family. I really feel very blessed to be in this environment and to have who we have surrounding us. And to say that everything is, 100% easy all the time, not necessarily, but since then, and having the support that we have, those moments feel a lot more manageable now that we have this, beautiful place to be.
Did you know that the cardinal is the state bird of North Carolina?
I did not know that. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. See, life is crazy. Life is totally crazy when you start thinking about those things. And, sometimes it happens at inconvenient moments, right? Like when the cardinal just smacked me literally in the garage. The logistics of getting out of that scenario were not easy. And it was very daunting, but I did it anyway. And it all kind of worked out.